What's up, everybody? This is Ben coming at you with another crypto update, and this time it's for ALGO. I'm invested in a lot of different coins, and I plan on doing other videos for other coins as well, not just HBAR. So I told you I want to do a video on ALGO to tell you why over the past month or so, maybe a little longer, why I have quadrupled my position in this coin. And why I think it has a lot of upside. Please don't take this as financial advice whatsoever. I am not a professional. I do this just to show you lines on charts and kind of give you my ideas. All right. So please do your own homework on stuff like this and do it responsibly as well. But here's ALGO, and this is the weekly chart here. If you notice, we're on the weekly chart. So these candles are, I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening in these candles. This is an entire week, every one of these candles. ALGO has been a coin that has grown exponentially for the past year. By exponentially, I mean every time we make a move, it is almost doubling itself in size. And so just for fun here, I drew this out. I drew this fib to kind of see where we are. You can see that right now we're testing the 382, coming up on it, and was rejected here a few weeks ago. This was back in early February. We kind of blew through it and we hit the 5, so right in the middle of the fib. Rejected, came right down to the 382. The next week we tried to break 382 again and we didn't, so we came right back down to the 236 and even below. And then this level kind of held for us right here, which I think is very significant because it was the high of this extension here, this run. It was also the low here on this weekly candle. So this line is significant. And then once again, here we are breaking through the 382 this week and looking pretty healthy. Very healthy, actually, here. And on this chart, all I want to do is show you some percentages because I think it's cool. There's 3 major moves that ALGO has made over the past year, and we're beginning our 4th, I believe. This is the first one right here. I know it doesn't look like much, but because it's so low in the chart, it actually is a big move. It was followed by a huge retracement all the way back down to the bottom. And then the second move here still doesn't look like much, but it's a giant move. It did a full retracement as well. And then we had our third move, which brought us all the way up to here. And this time was the first time we did not retrace all the way back down to our base. We held at support here, which was the top of our last high, which is very significant and has allowed us to start to push up again. So let's just take a look at percentages real quick on these moves. This is cool. All right, so this guy, if you take it to the bottom, and these are weeks, so I might be a little off here, but so we're about 140, let's just call it 150%. All right, I know that doesn't look like a 150% move, but it is. You got to think that this was only when ALGO was 20 cents, and we moved up to like 52 cents. So that's a 150% move here on this upswing. Big move. Took 1, 2, 3, 3, almost 4 weeks to make that move. Don't forget these are weekly candles. We did see a huge retracement from that, which is probably people selling that maybe bought here and thought that this was their time to get out and just reduce their losses, and so they sold off, and this thing really went down to 9 cents. Wow, that would have been awesome to buy in there. I did not start buying until this move. So second move, let's look at it and compare it to the first move. So from the bottom, if we measure up, 289, 285. I mean, we could, if I might be off a little bit, let's just call it 300 for fun. 290. It's basically double what this one was. So we had a 150% move here. Our next move was about 300%, which was double again, right? Let's measure our next move. See what this move was. This move was, I don't want to go off this wick here. I think it's just a little whack, and I don't want to pull from that. So let's pull this up like 580. Yeah, let's call it 580. So super close to doubling again, right? So our first move, 150%. Our next move, 300%, a double. Our next move, almost 600%, a double again, right? From one before. It was about 570 or whatever that is. So let's just, for fun, from the bottom, let's pull up a double of what this move would be. So a 570, that's what, 1100 and, I don't know, 80-ish. Am I doing that right? I'm trying to do math in my head quick. I might need to bring this down. If we did another double, history repeats itself. This move was here, then we did a double, then we did a double. Let's measure another double from the bottom. Where are we at? Let me just squish this, just in case we go crazy here. This is crazy. All right. I think it was somewhere around like 11. A double would have been what, 1160 or something? Let's just see. So we go from this bottom here of our low. Let's measure up. That's too high. Look at that, boys and girls. If history were to repeat itself and we did another double on this next run, which could include rechecks on its way up, but I'm talking about its next high. Isn't it amazing that, I mean, I'm probably off a little bit here, but I mean, look at this. Isn't it amazing that it hit this line dead on this fib, the 2.618? That's crazy to me. I'm not saying it's going to go to $9.71, but I'm saying, hey, if history does what it's been doing and this coin continues to grow exponentially, that's different than just kind of going up on a very slow climb. This has been an exponential growth every single time. We're doubling and doubling and doubling. Then wow, that's pretty crazy. And so when I saw that, I thought, you know what, this structure here looks really good, and it looks strong, and it is worth my investment and to see what happens. Now, I could be totally wrong and this thing flops and, you know, we put in some kind of weird double top here and we come all the way back down. You know, who knows? But we're in a bull run right now. Everybody knows that. So I just thought that was interesting. So if history repeats itself on these percentages, not fib lines or any of that, just percentages of moves, then the next exponential move would put us up around the $9 area, which would be amazing. All right, let's look at another chart. I got a couple charts open for you. This is another cool chart, and I'm going to go to the daily now instead of weekly, so we can see just a little bit more action going on here. And here's what I did. I pulled fibs on each one of these moves, right? Top down to the bottom, the retracement, so you can see the extension above. And then I wanted to pull it on each one and see how this move reacted to the fib behind it, if that makes sense. So I pulled the fib level on this retracement, right? And then our next move comes up to here. And what I wanted to see was how this reacted to here. And it got up to the 1.618. Like we said, it basically doubled. So I thought that was interesting. And so I said, well, let me do it again. So I pulled again from the top down to our low. And then I drew this line back to see how it correlated with this guy, right? And that puts us halfway between the 2.618 and the 3.618, right? This is on the daily. I do think it's cool that this one hit almost perfectly, right? So, again, if history repeats itself, This gives us kind of a different point of view, but one that's worth looking at and maybe more realistic. So this was a fib. This fib came up to the 1.618, right? The next move, big move up, came up in between the 2.618. So we're starting our next leg up, right? And it's going to come out into here and it's going to grow, I believe. And if we draw a fib after it comes down and retraces and we draw, where would we be drawing this yellow line? Well, this one hit at 618, 1.618. This one hit at 2.618 or in between. So even if we did what the first one did and we hit here, that brings us up to 250 area, which could very well be where we go on our next move before we kind of kick back and then keep going. If we did what we did on this one, it would bring us up into this world, which is around the $4 mark, which could happen, I believe, as well. I don't think that's crazy. That's doing a little more than 100%. We see coins do that all the time, especially in the bull markets, right? If it kind of does the exponential thing and we go from 1.618 into the middle of 2.618 and then we go all the way up into here on this next run, that brings us up to like the $5 mark before we see a retracement back down to keep going. So those two things were things that I've been looking at and find very interesting, and that I'm watching on very high time frames, weeklies and daily charts. Now, let's go back to the way that Ben usually does stuff, which is with just good old lines, good old trend lines, support and resistance lines, right? This is the daily chart for ALGO, same one. You'll notice here was these moves that we talked about, the first little move right here, and then doubled move, and then big move, and then finally we came down and stopped right in this zone, which was the top of this guy for support, which is great. And since then we have began this climb back up. I had this line drawn in when we peaked out here, and we had kind of a pretty big retracement here. Bitcoin did it as well. I don't know if you remember, it's one of those big Bitcoin dips. And I watched this and had a few buy orders here only because of the correlation with support, around this level, and how there was so much stuff going on in this level right here. So we have it here, we have them all through here. Remember, these are daily candles. There's a lot of action through here. So I happened to pick up a few bags here, and then I really watched it to see the response. And I've said this a few times, when Bitcoin dumps, your alts are going to dump to almost always. What's important to watch is the response after the dump over the next few days. This is what you want to see. You don't want to kind of just see it flop around down here, because that would have told me that we probably would have flopped around down here and hit this trend and probably started to come back down into this world. But we came up, we stabbed this trend line, we didn't break it, but the next day we stabbed it again. We were able to barely get above it, and we had to break this trend line and this trend line at the same time, kind of like what H-bar did last night. And because of that, we had this big move, this huge move up on the daily. And this is what I've been watching for the past couple weeks now, because these are daily candles, remember. And this has just been perfect consolidation under resistance. This red line right here is a resistance level that I drew in, and we have continued to punch this resistance line. And I've tweeted it before, I say it all the time. I would much rather consolidate under a resistance line versus consolidating on a support line. Like how this is consolidated on a support line. I wish it would have been up here, trying to punch through. It just shows strength that it's punching through this, right? Well, up until today, I still didn't even know. This is kind of messy here. There's a lot going on, but if you will, squeeze this out. This daily candle was ugly for me yesterday, and I wondered what was going to happen here because we are coming down to the wire, right? We punched this line again. We were rejected hard, and put in this bad looking candle, right? But our support line held. We held the 9 MA even on the daily, and so I'm still in. I was letting it go, and then today was the day. Today's candle was huge, and still got what, an hour and 15 minutes left right now to finish out. But this move right here is extremely significant to me for algo. This is a lot of consolidation. Remember, these are daily candles. There's a lot of stuff going on in here, a lot of movement, a lot of buying and selling. This candle pushed through this downtrend line and has put us, like I said, in a very good area. Here's the top of this one. We're above it right now. Like I said, we have an hour and 15 minutes. This thing could come all the way back down to here, and we'll see what happens in the next couple days, or we are on our way. And what I like to look back to is this fib level here. This is on the daily now. Let me reset this so that we can see what's going on. So this is that first chart I showed you. Remember, it was on the weekly. This will make you remember it. And I'm looking at this fib level of 382 right here, and how it was hit perfectly here, could not break through, and caused all this. But then we had this exponential growth. Remember, we came back down, we created this support level off of this high here, and now we've been consolidating so nicely. And this daily candle right now is breaking the 382. And if it does, it will be the first candle to break that since Binance listed this coin back in 2019. I don't have any information behind it, but that is a significant candle here, and it's something to watch. It closes in about 10 minutes. If it can close above, if we can push up tomorrow a little more, I would love to see this push up. Actually, I would love to see this push up to the 5, up into here, and then come back and recheck the 382 again. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see this thing go straight up. Things that go straight up come straight down, just like this. So I want to see this thing grow over the next few months and hit these levels and see if it can put in these percentages that we were talking about here. Can it double this again? Can it get all the way up into like the $9 zone? So that's why I'm in this coin. That's why I've quadrupled my position over these weeks here, because I saw this movement going, and I was really hoping and praying that we were going to break this line here and come up and claim this as a support line. And if we do, we have some blue skies above us for this coin. And these fib levels are good ones to watch. So anyway, that's where I'm at. See this one on the daily too if you want. Here we are. I think we can get the whole chart. Yep. I mean, this is bullish, guys. It really is. It's looking good. And whoa, I don't know if you heard that, but that's thunder. I live in Florida. It's a daily thing. It shakes my house. This is the longest video I've ever done, but there's a lot of information here. I haven't done many videos on algo. Watch this level. Watch the daily close. Watch actually the weekly close, which is tonight. That's even more significant. I forgot. We're closing the weekly and the daily tonight. This is extremely significant to close above the 382 here. So we got what, 10 minutes. I'm not going to hold you here for 10 more minutes. This video won't even be uploaded before then, but we'll be able to know if it closed above or not. If not, we'll have to see and see if it can fight through and go above it. So anyway, that is why I have quadrupled my position in this coin. I'm not telling you to do the same. I'm just showing you what I'm seeing, and maybe it helps you, see some other levels that you hadn't seen before. Again, do your own homework. Please don't risk more than what you can afford to lose. It'll only mess with your head and keep you in bad moods all the time and everything else. So have fun out there. Still rooting for all my other coins. If you guys have a coin that you want me to try to do a video on, let me know. Please like and subscribe on here. It helps me out. And yeah, that's about it. Peace out, everybody. See ya.